Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our session, Dive into Data. We're excited to have you. Don't be afraid to turn on your camera. We're all friends here, mostly current Spinzo clients. There may be some prospects, but definitely want to make this as interactive as possible. We have been doing a couple different sessions like this where we really want to hone in on some of the learning and some of the insights in the Spinzo platform. So we want to take some of Spinzo's best features and make sure that you have a full understanding of how to use them, how they can be useful to your overall business, and then open up the door for any questions. So today we thought it was really important to start talking about data. So we've made a couple updates in some of the notification features and a couple other little things that you may not be aware of. So that's where we wanted to focus in and really talk about, number one, how do we help you collect data? How do you mine the data in here? How do you transfer it to Artix if you'd like to do that? And then just making the most of the reporting features that we have. So if you don't know me, I think I know all of you. I'm Denise Sickenetter, Head of Sales and Service. Emmanuel is on the call as well. Emmanuel, do you want to introduce yourself? And then we'll dive right in.
Yep. I'm Emmanuel Almagian. I'm the CEO of Spinzo, and I think a lot of you know that reporting is in the DNA of Spinzo. We take great pride in the reporting tools that you have, but a lot of you may not be familiar with the breadth of what you could do with the platform. So excited to show you.
Yes, absolutely. So let's dive in, and then obviously the carrot at the end, or the icing on the cake after learning all this information, is we will send you a DoorDash gift card. So just be patient with us. That'll be before the end of the week, and based on everyone who joined and stayed on the call. So, Emmanuel, you want to kick it off with collecting data?
Yep. All right. I'm going to share my screen here. So one of the key points for reporting is to be able to collect the data. So that's the number one step. And so on Spinzo, there's a lot of opportunities for which to collect data. So the key one is our questions feature. So you can ask questions at various points throughout the buy flow. And just to summarize here, a lot of you are familiar with this, but the Spinzo promotion structure always starts at this level called the seller level. So if you have multiple sports teams that you sell for example, Kroenke would have the Nuggets, the Avalanche, the Mammoth, you can create questions at the seller level, which means that that question appears on all promotions. So if we open here, I'll just use as an example, the Dallas Mavericks. So in their profile, they have questions, which is down here at the bottom left in the menu. These questions appear on all Dallas Mavericks promotions. So, for example, they want everyone to agree to their official terms of use. It's a new feature of Spinzo now to be able to put rich text and links and media in your questions. So they simply have a link to their official terms of use. But also they're asking prospecting questions like, are you interested in Dallas Mavericks season ticket membership? And you could say yes or no, or suite rentals. So these are questions that are available at the seller level. But you could also go down and put a question at the group level. So if we go into one of their groups, for example, American Heart here, they have live promotions. At that level, you could ask questions, and these questions will only be for American Heart promotion. So they're asking the name of the school that is participating. So the buyer could type the name of the school. So you could ask that question at the group level. But you can go even more granular and ask it for a specific sales event. So let's say we're in American Heart, and let's say the Pistons game April 12th. Maybe you only wanted to ask a question for that April 12th game. Well, you can. And maybe it's fan appreciation night and you want to ask which gift they want. Maybe they have a choice of two different gifts, and you could ask a question there and collect that data. So that would be a use case for collecting it at the sales event level. And finally, you can ask questions at the offer level. So a lot of you don't know this. This is very specific, but in this case, for this Pistons game, the Mavericks are selling seats in Platinum area, Platinum corner and Platinum sideline. Maybe that comes with a special meal or something else that they need to pick an option for. Well, if you tap on more options here for the specific offer, you can create a question just for Platinum sideline buyers. So you could ask a question just for the people who pick that seating zone. And maybe there you want to ask about meal choice, for example. So lots of opportunities to collect data through our question feature throughout the various points of the hierarchy.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind our questions you have required or optional. You can do, as Emmanuel was showing, you can do free text, so you can have them just free text something. You can do select all that apply, so that typically works with like an I agree statement. So you can do that. You can also do multiple choice. And remember, in multiple choice, we can also manage the inventory if you want. So if you want us to manage a certain level of inventory with certain things, we can also do that on the multiple choice level. So lots of different ways to go ahead and collect that data, but you have to make sure that you're putting the question at the right level. If you don't have questions at the seller level, I highly recommend those of you that are either, if you're a sales rep, say in your organization, go to your manager, make sure that we have those. You can check on the dashboard, see if those exist. If you don't, I highly recommend you putting those in there. And even if you don't want to force your buyers to fill them out, if you put them as optional, you will get hand raisers that want to bring out a different group. Or for those of you, I see Courtney, you guys sell across 5 different teams sometimes. Like, hey, are you interested in the Roughnecks? Are you interested in the Hitmen? Are you interested in the Flames? Like, this is a great way for those of you who have multiple brands to cross-sell too. So just think about that as you think about your questions. It's a great way to build your pipeline for the other things that you're selling. So additionally, with beyond questions, one of the other ways that you can collect information, and this is more so really for internal back-end purposes, is that I know me working in the NHL and the NBA, one of the things that was really big in the NBA is categories, group categories, and how well are we selling for each category? And there was this wonderful report that we had to fill out at the end of the year that everyone loved to do. And there was very difficult to classify your groups. So in Spinzo, we offer what's called classifications. It does not have to be for group categories. This could be for, is it a fundraiser? Yes or no? I mean, you could use this in lots of different ways, but a lot of our teams are using it for group categories. And they're actually, so once you build a classification, they can be tied directly to a group or affiliate. And then you can run simple reporting off of this. The other piece of the puzzle that you can do is that this can actually be pushed into a Ticketmaster sales source. So if that's of importance to you and you want to be able to have group categories in your Ticketmaster sales source, you can do that. Or it could be something else that you want to go into Ticketmaster sales source. So only one classification can go in there, as that would make sense, so it's not confusing. But you can go ahead and set up multiple classifications. You can put those at the group level, like I said, or even at the affiliate level. So once we've done that and we've tagged them all, Emmanuel can go, and we'll show you later in the Flex report, you can run a quick Flex report on these classifications and be able to quickly understand how many tickets you've sold in a certain timeline in each category. So it's a great way for you to quickly and easily gather that information and know exactly what categories are pushing the needle here through the Spinzo platform. So just quick, simple way to gather that information.
And as Denise said, you could do multiple as well. So
Absolutely.
right now, the OKC Thunder have group category, but if they wanted to, they could have said, is this a fundraiser? And then once you have that, you could say yes or no here. So fundraiser, and then we could say yes, no. Again, you could have as many of these as you want. So now that we've created this, whenever we make a new group on OKC Thunder, is it a fundraising group? Yes. And what is it for? It is Girl Scouts. So now we have all that data that we can look back to, and how many groups were fundraisers and how well did they do.
Yeah. Very simple, very, very easy. So one of the things we started to talk about here in classifications is the ability to transfer data into Artix, which can be really important because the more information you can get into Artix, many times that means that your BI team or your data team can take that information, because they're already taking a ton of information from Artix, and move it out to your CRM system, which then again makes that more simple on the sales side. So not only can we pass into Salesforce, but we do have the ability to send in information into the custom other info fields. So to see if we're already doing that, you could go to a Spinzo order, open the order, and make sure you toggle over on the bottom half to the other info fields. And then if we are pushing information in, which we do for a lot of you guys, we many times are pushing in, like, say, the Spinzo order ID. Sometimes we're pushing in the group name and affiliate name. Sometimes we're pushing in the combination of those. Sometimes we're pushing in the category there. We're already pushing in your rep ID on the order level. We can push in the question responses. So if you wanted to put in a question response and push it in there, you can. And no, just as customer data, we're pushing in name, billing address, phone number, and email if we are creating the account. If the account has already been in existence, we aren't pushing in that general data information. We're only pushing anything in on the other information fields. So if we aren't currently doing that for you guys yet, let us know. It's something we can talk through directly with ticket operations. We just need to know which fields are open, and it's a quick one-time setup on our end. But again, gives you access to this information in Artix, as well as that you have the information to pull here in Spinzo. But sometimes it's good to have it in both places just because it may be kicked out to your CRM system.
All right, so one more piece in terms of collecting data and insight from clients, and this one is tracking pixels. This is more of a marketing thing, but a lot of our clients want to place tracking pixels on promotions, and this enables the retargeting. So, you know, when you're browsing online and you have ads that follow you, you visit a website because you wanted to buy a couch, and then ads for the couch continue to follow you. So some of you want to do that for some of your promotions. Your marketing teams would do this. We have a facility for that. So you could tell, I don't know if there's any marketing folks on the call, but if not, you can tell them that we have this under tracking pixels. So we're on the Blue Jackets here. They have a Facebook remarketing pixel, so then it will follow you with Facebook ads. They also have Google Analytics in there. And then for any of our pixels, we pass in our custom variables. So if your marketing team wants to receive like the total spend to do some kind of special ads for people that spend a certain amount of money, maybe you retarget them with season ticket sales ads. You could do that as well. So we have tracking pixels at all levels of the promotion structure as well. So you could do it for everything on Columbus Blue Jackets, or you could pick a specific group and only for Father's Day to place it there. You could choose at what level to put those tracking pixels. So that's everything in terms of collecting data. Now, in terms of reporting on the data, I want to go back to the Dallas Mavericks here. We talked about the questions that you can do. We've added a new feature recently in the last month or two where you could actually receive notifications when someone answers a question a certain way. So let's say we're in the Dallas Mavericks, and let's say I'm the head of premium at the Mavericks, and I want to receive an immediate real-time notification anytime someone buys a Spinzo promotion and they said, yes, I'm interested in a suite rental. So in this question, we've added this new feature here to receive purchase notifications. So if I'm the head of premium at Mavs, I could say, yes, I want to receive notifications on that, and I could hit save. So now, anytime anyone on Maverick says, yes, I'm interested in suites rentals, I will receive a notification, and I could follow up with them right away in minutes. So that would be quite impressive. Let's say the way you guys are structured is that the suite rentals are maybe commissioned, and it's important that you as the rep follow up with them, not just one person at the Mavericks. We have an accommodation for that. So right here, receive purchase notifications. I could have a check mark, but I could filter it, and I could say, I only want to receive notifications when it's my promotion. So let's say I'm David. I could choose myself here. So I'll only receive promotions or receive notifications when people bought from my promotions and then chose yes to suite rental, because I only want to follow up with those people who are already my buyers. So you can do that right now in the platform.
So keep in mind that this is the question that's at the seller level. So it's hitting every single Dallas Mavericks promotion. It is an optional question, but because David has now gone in and check marked that he himself wants to receive an email notification when one of his buyers says yes to that, like that is the ultimate hand raiser, because it's not a required question. And he, you know, they're saying, yes, I'm interested in that. So keep that in mind. Like if you are sitting at your team, you're selling, responsible for selling, I would highly recommend going into your Spinzo backend, going into the custom questions that are at the seller level down here on the left-hand side, and any of those that are hand raiser type of questions, I would go in, sign up for the notifications, and then choose yourself as the rep. So that way, if you don't choose yourself as the rep, you're going to get everyone's, which I don't think you want. But sign up for yourself as the rep, and then you can go ahead and move forward with those. If you are signed up for just generic notifications for sales, so when a ticket sale comes through, these emails will have a little bit of a difference in the subject line. So keep me honest, Emmanuel, but in the subject line, it's going to say question response, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can, some of you may have known this already, but let's say you have a very important group. You want to be notified every time someone purchases from that group. You can go to the group in the back end of Spinzo and hit this little bell icon, and then you could choose to receive notifications on that group. And yeah, the subject of that email is different. So you'll know if it's a purchase notification or if it's a question response notification.
Correct. So that should be definitely helpful in moving people into other products or, you know, multiple different sales along the way. Perfect.
All right, so next up, we'll talk of Flex Report, and I'll click around, Denise, if you want to walk us through this.
Absolutely. So for those of you, hopefully most of you are somewhat familiar with the Flex Report. If you're not, you definitely want to get familiar with it because it is your best friend. So our Flex Report is the easiest way. Once you go to reports and click on Flex Report, it's the easiest way to slice and dice your data. So, you know, depending on where you're sitting, if you're trying to look holistically for your team or whether you're trying to look at yourself as a sales rep, again, will be very, very impactful. So Emmanuel's just going to go ahead and pull, let's say, holistic data for one of our teams, for example. So if he was to pull from August 1st to now, say for the Carolina Hurricanes, here's where we're at. We're going to see very quick top line, how many tickets they've pushed through the system, how much gross revenue, how much net revenue. If Emmanuel wants to break that down, he can then break that down. So maybe he wants to see that by rep because he quickly, as a manager, wants to get a glance of how that breaks down by rep. He can then do that. He can see what the utilization is of each one of his reps of Spinzo. He could then hone in on one sales rep if he wanted. So again, this would come into play. Either A, he's trying to dig deeper into Samantha's groups, or I'm Samantha and I want to just see myself. So if I'm Samantha, I could come in and filter by myself and I can run that. Now, Emmanuel's not toggled anything else, so I'm just going to see her one line item. But now he can go deeper, whether he wants to look at groups, whether he wants to look at event date, however he wants to look at it. So if he wants to look by event date, now he's going to see event by event how many tickets Samantha has sold. So we can sort this. Remember at the arrows at the top of the page there, you can sort that. Every single version of what we're looking at is downloadable to Excel, so you could download it and manipulate it. You can also take that URL. So if Samantha's like, no, see, I actually did sell this many tickets to this group, and she wants to share that data to someone else, she can go ahead and copy the URL at the top of the page and email that, Slack it, text it, whatever she wants to do to anyone, and they'll be able to go ahead and see the same version of the data that she's looking at. Where you kind of take reporting to the next level is when you start going into bookmarking some of these reports. So it's one thing to come in and choose all these different nuances to a report every single day and run the report, but you're going to save yourself an exponential amount of time if you start bookmarking the views of the reports that you like. So all you have to do is right click on the three dots up there in your URL and go ahead and bookmark it, and you can build folders of different bookmarks, but I would recommend taking the different versions of the report that you want and putting them out there. Keep in mind, if you're looking at the Flex Report right now, Emmanuel's report is up to today. So that's literally live up to the minute how many sales Samantha's had. If you want to look at a specific window, that's, I mean, yes, you can bookmark that, but it's not going to actively change unless you're just booking a window, say, hey, I want to look at my March sales for this month, and I want to be able to see up to date for the month how much I've sold. So maybe then you would put March 1st to March 31st in there, and that would keep a live tracker. But once we've hit March 31st or April 1st, that's then not going to be, that's going to be a stagnant report and it's not going to move. So keep that in mind when you think about the reporting. You can report all the way down to the order level if you want. So if you want to go all the way down to the order level, you can. That way you can download that information for every single order on a month-by-month basis or an event-by-event basis. So lots of different ways to utilize this report. Before a game, you may want to come in and sort by a specific game and run an orders total. Maybe we want to see exactly every order because you want to go see who you're going to visit. I always like to say, scroll over all the way to the side there, sort by how much they've spent. Okay, those big spenders, those are the people that I'm going to go see. Yeah, right here, these people maybe that are over $750 or $800. Those are the 4 people I'm going to go visit and I'm going to go say hi to. So this report can become your best friend if you're utilizing it and utilizing it in the right way.
The other thing you could do is filter by spend. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
on Samantha here and I'm on total orders. So let's say I want to see everyone who bought all my groups for the whole season who've spent over $750 on tickets. I could do that. We'll see how many there are. 14 actually in there. And I could bookmark this. So as Denise was talking earlier, I was doing this one-time effort here to make these bookmarks. So I make this new one here, big spenders. So now, if I'm Samantha, so as Denise was talking, just in those couple minutes, I made a few reports. So I made the overall report. So let's assume I'm Samantha and I click on overall. This is up to the second how many tickets I've sold and the dollar amount I've sold through Spinzo so far this season. So I could open that every day if I want, every hour if I want, every 10 minutes. You could see that. If I want to see by group, now she could just go by group because we had those set here. So we had a check mark on groups. So now she could see so far this season, her top groups are Star Wars at 18, Appalachian State, Alumni Group 688, and so on. If she wants to see by event, she can click on event. And these are bookmarked, so now it's easy to go. And as you can see, the reports load very fast. So now we could see the upcoming games. So what are we, March 5th? So we could see on the 7th, she has 51 tickets, 48, 688 on that date. And then I made another one just now called Big Spenders. So now Samantha at any time can go and see who are my big spenders so far this season. Here they are, 14 entries. Here's the group they bought. So various groups have big spenders. And here are their names, emails, phone numbers, their total spend. And now maybe she could reach out to them and talk about other options.
Yeah.
The Flex report is extremely powerful. Another report that's great, and I'll showcase this on the Anaheim Ducks, is our group audience report. So if we go to reports, we just looked at Flex report, but if we go to the group audience report, this is going to show us how groups are doing against each other, including bringing in the view data. So you can look at the conversion rate, so which groups are converting the best. So if I go to that group audience report for the Anaheim Ducks so far this season, we'll see for each group how many viewers there are. So $5 Fridays, you have viewers, unique buyers, total tickets sold, and total spend. So you kind of get a sense for the conversion rate, right? This 4-game micro plans, for example, is not converting very well. There's a lot of viewers, only 9 people bought for 21 total plans. But you'd expect that to not convert very well because it's a 4-game plan. It's a lot harder to get someone to purchase that. But you could see like Riverside County, not a great conversion rate versus Disney employees, right? So this gives you a little bit of a sense for what's going on. We can hone in on any group here. So for Angels Night, we can drill down into that specific night and see what's going on. So Angels Night, we'll see that was, the game was January 23rd. That black triangle shows you when the game date was. And then on a day-by-day basis here, you could see how many viewers there are and total tickets sold. So you could hover over any particular day there. But down here, if you guys are using our affiliate system, which we highly recommend on promotions like this, you don't have to just have Angels Night as the group. You can create multiple inbound links to Angels Night so you could track them. So they had a Facebook ad. They must have posted on Reddit, other Duck social activities, promo page, SMS texting. So now they know how many people viewed from each source, how many of those bought, and ultimately how many sales. So we could see the Facebook ad had 7,500 viewers, 53 of them bought for 136 tickets, versus the email, the Ducks email to past buyers had way fewer viewers, but an excellent conversion rate because they're past buyers, they're more apt to purchase again versus SMS converts a little bit lower. So this gives you a great understanding in terms of your conversion rates by source.
Absolutely. One of the newest reports that we have in Spinzo is what's called the event audience report. I believe it's what it's been officially.
Yep.
Yep, event audience report. Sorry, new name, new report. So this takes similar information as the group audience report, but now it's going to break it down by event. So you can come in and you can see Does a Friday night or a Saturday night convert better based on the groups that we have set up for that? So it's going to take the conversion data for every single group tied to that sales event, and it's going to give you the information as to how well they're converting. Now, keep in mind, your conversion rates are going to vary based on the type of group promotions that you have out there. So similar to what Emmanuel's saying with, hey, like a 4-game plan is not going to convert as well as others. Your wider theme nights may not convert as well as a small traditional group of people that know that they're already coming to the game. Or your redemption programs may have a higher conversion rate than, say, your just purely paid programs. But we can look holistically here at the events, and then we can go ahead and we can hone in on a day-by-day basis on that chart up there as to how that conversion rate has gone in that chart. And then down here, as Emmanuel was scrolling, now we have a group by group, number of unique viewers, number of unique buyers, and what the conversion rate is just for that event. So mass adult soccer may have multiple events, but here was the conversion rate for just this event. So you could go in and download this information and say, okay, this is for whatever event this is, May 5th, let's say hypothetically. But now I want to look at the May 12th. Sorry, it's 6/24 from last year. 6/24, but I want to go and look and see how they converted on, July 7th, for example. You could go ahead and compare those conversion rates. So now we're more looking at event date and that data and that information. So as you think about, okay, well, what night should we put programs on? Maybe a lot of people viewed a certain night, but your inventory wasn't great, so there wasn't a high conversion. You would know that, and you can go ahead and take that information and do what you would like with it, because you may see, hey, there's a lot of interest in a program, and maybe if we had more inventory, it would have converted at a higher rate.
This one's interesting because we know, because we work with the Revolution, YS means youth soccer. These are a bunch of youth soccer promotions. And look how well they convert. 20-30% of viewers buy. But Italian Heritage Night, 5% of them converted. And actually, there's one down here. I don't know what this is. Brand ambassador discount link. 95 people viewed and no one bought. So it just gives you some insight for next year where to focus your efforts on. But this is all, again, for the June 24th game date. But the key here is you can compare your game dates and see how they're doing versus each other. Okay.
Absolutely. So one more report, it's Spinzo Map View. So if you haven't gone out here and played with Spinzo Map View, it's probably my favorite report that we have, from being both on the sales and marketing side. This really unites it. So again, as a rep, or even holistically as a manager, you can come in and look at the slice of the data based on any of the different tools that we have that were in the Flex report. And this, remember, is not just a oh, we think they are here. No, this is Big Brother scary down to their billing address. So we partner with Google. We pay the small, cents to have this geolocated based on longitude and latitude of their billing address and put on the map. So you can see out-of-town buyers. You can see your market. You can see how far you reach. You can come in here and say, okay, I want to look at a specific group, or I want to look at a specific event date, and I want to see how well or how far those people are coming from. So Dale's Academy, great example of a group for the Hurricanes. We can see that a majority of them are coming from right in the heart of Raleigh, but they do have some outstanding, peripheral buyers. And maybe that's friends and family that they sent the link to. Versus Star Wars Night, if we go ahead and do that, you're going to see that that's pulling from a much wider range. You can see people all the way in Charlotte. You can see them down there on the coast. It's definitely a much bigger promotion. And then Emmanuel can go in and say, hey, based on their spend, where are the bigger buyers coming from based on their spend? And once you find a slice of this data that you like, so maybe we're going to do a partnership, and we want to talk to the people in Charlotte, for example. Maybe we're going to be doing something in the Charlotte marketplace if we're the Carolina Hurricanes. So I want to go ahead and pull a subset of data of Charlotte buyers.
Big spenders in Charlotte. Let's say big spenders.
There we go. Big spenders in Charlotte. So now Emmanuel can draw a polygon around any plot of those points and say, hey, okay, we're going to come into Charlotte, but we want to invite our top spenders in Charlotte to come see us at some sort of event. Well, now Emmanuel can generate a Flex report of all of those people and all of those buyers, and he has all that information right at his fingertips to download. So he didn't have to go mine through data with BI. He can really quickly pull that information here. So now if Emmanuel wanted to communicate with these buyers, hypothetically, one of the ways that you can utilize the data in Spinzo is to go ahead and send outbound emails. So one of the things our outbound email, I will give the caveat, we're not MailChimp, we're not Constant Contact, so we definitely don't need to replace any of those types of tools. But when you're trying to go out and communicate to your buyers that may have been purchasing something through Spinzo on a quick and easy fashion, we are the answer. So let's say Cardinal Gibbs night, they did a night last year. We want to go ahead and do another night with them. We can go ahead and send a group email, for example, and this will go to every single buyer within that group in previous years. So all previous years that you've used Spinzo and had that group. Star Wars is a great example, theme night. Year over year, you want to go back out to your buyers and tell them Star Wars night is live now? Just go ahead and come in and send a group email. For the Hurricanes, that's 5 or 6 years of data. And now they're sending it to all of those buyers. So a great way to take the information and just go ahead and leverage it and make it quick and easy for you to do previous nights. I was wrong, 7 seasons, right? Or 6, I can't
Six.
count.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, 7.
7, okay.
No,
Yeah,
6.
6.
It's 6. It's 6.
Okay. 6 seasons. So when they go to the 7th, now they can just take that information and run with it. So being able to capitalize on the data quickly and efficiently is also really important.
Hey,
So,
Denise,
yep,
sorry.
jump in, Britt.
Where was that, the email?
Yeah, great question. So there's a tab called outbound email right there. Yep. So to just walk you through it, Britt, quickly, a pulse email is to a live offer. So sometimes you may want to make sure that they know something that's going on, like, hey, we need a few more people to hit our fan experience. So a pulse email will always go to a set of live offers, and you'll have to go offer by offer. A follow-up email can go to people in a specific sales event, so a closed sales event. So if we just wanted to go to the Star Wars buyers from last season, we could do that. A group email will go to anyone that's bought in the group for any year that it's been live with Spinzo. A list email allows you to send a quick email to a list of emails that you plopped in here. So you could do that really easily. And then a community email, which I would hope most of us would probably never use, but that would go to every single buyer, potentially in your entire seller, which I would say that's a very, very rare circumstance. But the list email may be helpful too if you want to just send a quick email. Keep in mind the email will look the same as the confirmation emails, meaning it will look like it's coming from your organization. It will take on the generic header of your profile, and then it would have all the information. We only keep those emails to text and hyperlinks, so we don't recommend putting any images or anything like that in those because that's going to change deliverability. And if you are trying to do something that's a little bit more graphical, I would definitely recommend going to your CRM team or your email team.
Last question. And then is it coming from like brit.ovbo@hawks.com or is it coming from Spinzo support or something, that email address?
Nope, it looks like it's coming from the Atlanta Hawks, so it would be coming from Atlanta Hawks at poweredbyspinzo.com.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming from the Atlanta Hawks, but if someone replies to that email, it comes to us and we'll triage that and send to you if someone replies to that.
Is this new or has this been there this whole time?
It's been there, Brett. It's one of those
my
little crevices you didn't know about. That's why we're doing these things.
That is so clutch. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions for us about anything that we discussed today? Or if there's something that's rogue and off the beaten path, that's okay. You have us. We're here.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
It's Susan.
Hi, Susan.
For the classifications, can you go back and classify a closed?
Yes.
Great question. Yes. So you can go back and classify groups or affiliates on a closed basis. So what you would do is if you're starting to move forward with classifications, I would build your classifications and try to categorize as much as possible. But then you can run a report if you come into the Flex report and run a report based on group. Emmanuel, you may want to click. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here Emmanuel's got that, but he's got a whole list of not provided. So if he searches for not provided, they've got 730 main quantity tickets that are not provided. So then if he goes by groups and he sorts by the category not provided, he can now see which groups are not provided and go update those groups, and then that would in the next report.
Yeah, now, so there's 19 groups here that don't have that in there. And so, all we have to do is Dallas United Ballers, if we go, and then actually put a category in here.
So it's probably youth basketball.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Should I do it?
Yeah,
Sure,
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it might be youth sports. I don't know. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
It's just basketball.
Okay, I'll do it. So you could put that in here, then save it. Now there'll be one fewer in the report
In the
that
number.
that is not
Nice,
provided.
okay.
So, yep.
Now,
Now,
keep
of
in
course,
mind, we're
that
not,
won't, yeah, that won't backdate it into Arctics, but at
Correct.
least it's on Spinzo reporting it.
good question.
Yep.
Other questions for us? Did you get something out of it? You can get a thumbs up on the reactions or chime into the chat. Hopefully someone got something. I know Britt did. Mandy good.
Totally
Thank-
did.
Yes.
Susan did. Good. All right. Well, if there's aren't any other questions, you guys know where to find us. We're always here to help. You're never bothering us. If you have questions, little questions, we're going to continue to do these sessions to keep you guys up to speed with just everything that's in the platform. Like you said, Britt's like, is this a new feature? No, it's not a new feature. It's been there, but it's very hard to understand collectively all the possibilities in Spinzo. So that's why we're continuing to do these sessions. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being a client of ours, for those of you that are clients, and we will be in touch soon.